Go. Yeah, sure, that wasn't complete nonsense. Okay, so I'm gonna look through for a little bit. Let's see. I keep seeing stupid shit posts, and it makes me scroll all the more. Also, the new OBS update dropped, and it looks pretty good from a layman's point of view. Just need to post the going live link to Twitter. To Twitter. So stupid. It's from an old Game Grumps bit. How dare you? To Twitter! And then they fucking complain about it. So dumb. Damn it, sorry. I'm phlegm-esque. There we go. Browse. I didn't realize how much like browse sounds like in like a really dumb Australian accent. Let's bruise. Okay, let's see. Okay, got that posted. Let's see. What the fuck? Okay. Getting distracted, but hey, no one's in chat, it don't matter. No one's in chat. It don't fucking matter. Alright. We're gonna pause the Blut aus Nord. Excuse me. And we're gonna run some PS1 VGM mix ambient. Low poly brain cave, that's funny. Come on. There we go. That's the good stuff right there. Hell yeah. Love it. Oh yeah, I forgot it has a visual with it too. Yeah, that's a fucking mushroom trip waiting to happen. Looks like he's taking, looks like he took some textures from, Rayman 2 and, like, put them through like a kaleidoscope filter or something. That's really fucking cool, though. I like that. Anyway. Alrighty. Damn it, I cannot get this fucking phlegm out of my throat. Ugh, yet again we have this. This is happening especially badly this evening. Oh, that's right, I have to. There we go. And then, boop. We're back. Okay. We're on to the chapter named The Gathering. Not magic, sadly. I'm gonna crack this berry Red Bull, the blue one. So, was there a fucking waka waka waka, like tin wobbling sound in the background? That's funny. That's a good one. I like that. Very tasty. Okay. Let's see. Okay, good. Good. It is, what is it? We're starting in the real world and not the digital world, which seems to be the case for most of these chapters. Either way, let's get into it. I'm gonna move my microphone just a wee bit. Okay. They gave us a day off of school to recover from the cultural festival, so morning found me camped out in front of my computer. The new mail indicator sounded, and the words that sprang in front of my eyes were unwelcome indeed. The sender was Leos, and the subject was investigation request. That's no request, she thought to herself. Oh, no, never mind, sorry, damn it, I'm reading ahead of myself. That's no request, I muttered internally. That's an order. The message said to come to the weapons shop in Fort Oaf on the Sigma server. I punched the delete button without a second thought. I'd had enough of being used. I'll have to be careful not to get too close to the weapons shop on Sigma server, I thought. If Leos finds me, he's sure to force me to help. Starting up a new message, I typed an email to Elk. I have important information about Mia. I'll be waiting at the Chaos Gate in Fort Oaf. Some time passes. Oh yeah, I watched the message send, then logged onto the world. There it is. And then time passes. Whew. Alright. Hi! I stepped in shock. I stepped back in shock right after warping in, because Mia appeared right in front of me, greeting me as if she had completely forgotten our encounter the previous day. And unlike the previous day, she seemed her normal self. About yesterday, I started to say, then noticed Elk running up behind her. So they are in Fort Oaf, which is... excuse me. This one. There we are. Hey Mia, wait up, he called out. What the heck's going on? She thought to herself. Not noticing my astonishment, Elk said to me, I'm about to go to a field with Mia. He was in a really good mood, but I looked at Mia again. What she had said just before leaving the previous day. Elk, we were always together. And I thought, Elk said we were always together. And I thought he might have been with you. Sorry. He and I. What was that supposed to mean? Also, the italicized these italicized words are very strangely ordered. I don't know. I don't really get the. I think it's meant to be like a flashback, but they didn't really format it like a one. It's really weird. What was that supposed to mean? They were together now, weren't they? I wanted to ask her about it, but I kept quiet. I didn't think it was something I could bring up with Elk standing right there. Will you come with us? No, will you come with us? Mia asked, peering at my face. What? I said, taken aback. Elk, invite her. Weird. Mia instructed. Without even waiting for my answer, Elk seemed a little put out, but he must not have felt like arguing, because he invited me to their party. I didn't know how to react, and Elk watched me silently. I could tell he wanted to be alone with Mia, but If she really disappeared again or something, if she suddenly disappeared again or something, Elk might go back into spaced out mode. I couldn't risk waiting for a more convenient time, only to see that happen. Besides, if I spent some time with Mia, maybe I could find out what had been happening to her. So... wait, what? So, even though I sensed Elk's discomfort, I accepted the invitation and was added to the party. The original text is, so though I sensed, which makes no sense. Mia gave us the coordinates, Sigma, outpouring, vengeful, sipping bug, and we warped there. Upon our arrival, we were met with pitch-black terrain that flamed as if magma was leaking through. The orange sky loomed like with dark clouds that was rent by fissures through which peeked the familiar yet still strange progressions of luminescent characters. Perhaps because nowadays the world was at least somewhat contaminated everywhere you went, neither Elk nor Mia showed any sign of being perturbed. "Do you always come here?" I muttered. "Uh-huh," Elk answered, and his voice did show signs of unease. "This is our first time here." Oh, no, serious. No, sorry. No, it has H-U-H. This is Elk answered, and his voice did show signs of unease. "This is our first time here." We were both a bit puzzled, but Mia urged us on into the dungeon, which was one of those that were reminiscent of a human body. The minute we entered it, Mia narrowed her eyes and looked ahead. Elk and I stopped behind and craned our necks, looking past her, but not seeing anything particularly noteworthy. Then Mia opened her mouth and whispered, "Playard of the Seven Sisters, falling in love with a human, became a shadowed one, and was exiled from the dark. Hence her name came to be called Playard the Fallen." They said whispered. Where are we? Playard the Fallen. Elk and I turned puzzled expressions towards each other. What a weird way to say that. Then, just when it seemed Mia was about to speak again, she turned to Elk and gave a self-derisive smile. Then she turned to me and asked, "What did you think of that?" I had no reply. I had no idea how to reply. What did I think? I replayed in my mind what she had said. It sounded like some kind of story. What was that about the dark? She thought to herself. Wait, was that? I started, but Mia had already moved on ahead. I trailed after her with Elk. Is it always like this? I whispered to him. Yeah, Mia always takes the lead for me, he said. Seeing my puzzled expression at that, he continued. I've got no sense of direction. It's better for me if she leads. He smiled bashfully. As we went deeper into the dungeon, we kept tripping magical portals. When monsters appeared from them, it looked to me like Mia fought them to protect Elk. Reaching the lowest level, I instantly recognized the monster waiting for us there, clad in luminescent green hexes. It was unmistakably a data bug. Like a starving lion that had spied its prey, the monster stalked us slowly. What do we do? I wondered silently. Here it comes, Elk cried, and I gathered my wits and brandished my massive sword count 3. If we worked together, the three of us might be able to time our escape correctly. We can't give up, she thought to herself. Paying no mind to me or my sword, the databug charged straight at Elk. Elk ready to panic parry with his staff, and then, suddenly Mia appeared right next to the monster as it bore down on Elk, her sword buried deep in its neck. But just now, she was on the other side of us. Edge teleportation! Nothing personnel, kid! Mia! Elk cried joyfully, seeing her. Mia didn't react, but after a blank-faced mutter at the databug, she ripped her sword from its flesh, and it fell, dead. Hello! Tizen. Welcome, welcome. I hope I didn't forget to update the subject. I never expect anyone in here on reading days. Hello, hello. I'm also on my... Thank you for following. My name is Ikainu. I am a I'm a fusion between I'm a fusion between a wizard and his catboy apprentice that were fused together via a teleportation spell gone awry, similar to Jeff Goldblum's The Fly, but by way of Steven Universe's fusions. So, I am my own poison. And right now, I am reading through Volume 3 of the Dot Hack light novels. And I do plan on playing the actual games at some point again. I've beaten them at least once on emulation, and I've got physical copies thanks to a very good friend of mine. But I haven't beaten the physical copies yet, because, like, Part 4 is just very hard. But I haven't played them on stream yet. But either way, thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy reading, even if you're not quite sure what's happening. Where are we? Dead, okay. What? I froze, then my sword raised, unable to comprehend what I had just seen. With a single blow and without a data drain, she thought to herself. Mia, rooted to the spot, raised her eyes to the ceiling, like a creature possessed. Her mouth opened listlessly and began spilling out words. At her wandering's end, she settled in seclusion in Haukar. Oh my god, how do I pronounce that? Haukar. Haukar. However, those days may not last. A reunion may come, or may not. Plaird's form vanishes at the coming of the sign of the wave. Her voice was quiet, but the sound of it reverberated throughout the spacious chamber. Huh? Is that more of what she was saying before? She thought to herself. I immediately looked back through the log, comparing these words to her previous strange utterance, and made a note of both. Elk, Mia murmured, and stretched out her hand as if to touch him. But suddenly the air coiled and warped around her body, and she vanished. Mia? Elk whispered blankly, staring in amazement at the spot that she had vacated. He stared for a long time, like his soul had been snatched. Taking him by the hand in that dazed state, I led Elk out of the dungeon and back to town. Soon after we got there, he logged... No, what is it? Yeah, he logged. Ooh, cool. A lovely sketch of Mia just one-shotting that data bug. Beautiful. And Elk just as happy as can be. Bless him. Oh, soon after we got there, he logged off in shock, and since it was lunchtime, I too left the world behind me. Some time passes. The living room downstairs was so quiet it was scary. Mom had gone to visit Fumikazu in the hospital, so I'd be eating a lonely lunch. With the note I'd written while playing in one hand, I sank deep into thought. Dark wave. Those words Mia had muttered had to be a fragment of the epitaph. The word dark had similarly arisen in the fragment that Kite had told me. The way he'd said it had seemed significant. So I remembered. Oh my god, I'm so bad with determining when these sentences end, because I'm like, I'm not good at reading ahead while I'm reading out loud. The way he'd said it had seemed significant, so I remembered it well. The phrase, sign of the wave, was in the epitaph excerpt Wiseman had sent us, and Fitzshell had also used the word wave. I went back to my room and printed out all the information I had gathered so far. Harold's note that I'd heard from Kite, the fragments of the epitaph, the excerpt we'd received from Wiseman, and the words that Mia had said. I looked them over, turning them around and around in my head to see if I noticed anything new. But on my own, I wasn't making any progress. Wish I had someone to think this over with me, she thought to herself. Then I thought of just the right person. Someone who, even if I told her all this, probably wouldn't come to the world, but who would be sure to take an interest. With trepidation, I opened my cell phone, pushed the buttons, and waited for the sound of her voice. Hey, what's up? Asaoka answered the phone, the worry evident in her voice. Oh, that's right, she calls her school friend. Sorry to call so suddenly, I said. There's something I'd like to discuss. Asaoka asked in an even more serious voice. Did something happen in the club again? No, I assured her. This time it's about the epitaph of Twilight we talked about that one time. Do you mind? I had a feeling it would be better not to try to do this over the phone, so I asked her to meet me somewhere. Over fast food at a joint near the station. I filled her in on the details. Asaoka bit into the subject with even more gusto than I had imagined that she would. I gave her simple explanations of things, like me as a regular character in the world's original programmer, Harold. Oh, damn it! And the world's original programmer, Harold, had passed along the data I had collected. Asaoka looked the printouts over in deep interest. Can I borrow these? Of course, I said. That's why I brought them. Asaoka nodded. I'll do a little investigating. Thank you, I said sincerely. I need the help. Even while we made small talk, she scoured through the data with a grave expression on her face. Damn. Some time passes. The next couple of days were quiet, until I checked my email one night and the name of a new message's sender was so unexpected I blurted it out loud. Balmung? We need to talk. Be at the Chaos Gate in Fort Auf. I'm gonna sip. Alright. Alright. Where are we? Oh. Why me, I wondered, cocking my head. I couldn't remember ever exchanging member addresses with Balmung. His crony Leos probably told him what it was. I decided to meet with him anyway, and as I waited at the Chaos Gate for Balmung to arrive, Kite walked in. Hey Kite, I said. I got this weird email from Balmung saying he needed to speak with me. Kite took a long, hard look at my face. Really? Oh, by the way, Balmung's on our side now. Huh? The news came so suddenly I raised my voice. What? Wasn't he working with Leos? He acts so high and mighty and mean. I feel you, girl. I feel you. Then I sensed that someone had warped in behind me. Uh-oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? God, that fucking trope. It tickles me, but it's so stupid. It's funny at how stupid it is. Kite's eyes also shifted in that direction. Ah, Balmung, he said. Wah! I cried, flinching to the side. Black Rose, Balmung called out. I spun around and answered him with a firm tone. What is it? I'm sorry for everything, he said before. Sure, man. Oh, man. I live. Hello, Klusk. You live and I read. Ugh. I'm reading more of Volume 3 of, Volume 3 of Dot Hack, Another Birth. And whenever I finish Volume 4, we're gonna read, a Magic the Gathering novel. And it's the one for Shards of Alara, if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering storyline. Or Magic sets. The great thing about the Alara Unbroken book is that the whole story takes place in one book, so it's very concise. Love it. Anyway. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm sorry for everything, he said, before. I was floored. What'd you say? Stop freaking me out. But there Balmung was, standing right in front of me with an apologetic look on his face, and my vision swam dizzily. On one hand, I was happy that he finally understood what was going on, but on the other hand, the apparent straightforwardness of his apology kind of creeped me out. But as I was about to open my mouth and see what words came out, a loud buzzing wail rang through the town. Balmung and I stared around in shock. Up until this point, things like that had only happened in fields and dungeons, never a town. But as if paying the noise no mind, Kite murmured, This feeling. It's aura. Hold on, I protested. What the heck are you talking about? I heard Aura's voice, Kite said, growing more and more serious. She said she was waiting in... Oh, I need to fucking remember the names of these Greek letters. I want to say it's... Oh, it's either Delta or the other one that looks like a triangle. Hold on. I had to look it up! Again. Every time I have to look it up. I don't know why. Let's see. Come on, load. Load properly, load properly, please. I do like this person's ambient. It's great stuff. Eh. Server. Come on. Server. Here we are. Lambda. That's it. It's Lambda. You must find Lambda team. Bring, 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 bring. Let's do those hacks, right? Let's dot the. Oh wait, you already said that. Damn my fucking dyslexia. Let's dot those hacks. Yeah. Let's dot those hacks. Oh man, that's a good bit. I like that. But yes, it was Lambda server. Hold on, I need to text Aiden real quick. Okay. Itch. Oh, there we go. Okay. Lambda. Wait, she said she was waiting in Lambda, merciless, grieving furnace. The girl is calling me. The girl? I asked dumbly, not immediately associating Aura and the girl. Well, yeah. Why would you? He said, it's like he was talking about two different people. The girl who gave me the bracelet. Aura, Kite said patiently. Anyway, let's get going to Lambda Merciless Grieving Furnace. I'll bet she wants the segment you got the other day, I said. Balmung looked confused. Kite said he was on our side now, but I guessed he hadn't yet told Balmung all the details. We headed to Lambda Merciless Grieving Furnace immediately. Warping there went off without a hitch, but the ground there was so red I couldn't tell what patches were contaminated and what ones weren't. Okay. Oh, that's a cute little sketch of Black Rose being gobsmacked by Balmung's sudden side switching. Damn it. The bits of luminescent code that peeked out here and there were yellow in this field. The fissures in the black sky yawned open like huge, eerie maws. While avoiding as many magical portals as we could, we entered the dungeon. It was vast. It was vast. Kite must have been in quite a hurry since he expended a fairy's orb, an item that displayed unexplored parts of the map. We moved deeper and deeper inside. Is this place Aura's? Nope. Is this the oh my god, I can't read. Is the place Aura's waiting for us on the lowest level after all? It always is, Black Rose. It always is. We descended to floor B3, and the lack of magical portals anywhere on the level was striking. Without encountering a single one, we made our way to the lowest room. Its entrance was a door clouded by purple mist. Uh-oh. Significant event time. Will we really get to speak with Aura this time? Will we get to ask her what we've wanted to ask for so long? About how to save the coma victims? Right on Kite's tail, I adjusted my grip on my controller and plunged through the purple mist. And there she was. Aura was floating in midair, waiting for us. Kite paused and swiveled, looking back the way he'd come. Huh? I said. Before I could turn around to look as well, Kite waved me off. It's nothing, he said, turning back around. And as I stared at him quizzically, he seemed about to say something to Aura. But as he opened his mouth, a crimson sphere suddenly floated up from his chest. Aura's segment. It wafted upward and she absorbed it. I breathed. In the heart area of Aura's translucent body, a red glow became visible. What's this? Balmung said, his loud tone betraying his nervousness. Kite and I kept looking at Aura. She seemed about to speak, and Kite slowly approached. Then suddenly our ears were assaulted by a deafening noise, the shout of Hagiya. A pale root suddenly thrust upward from the ground between Kite and Aura, rapidly expanding to dominate our field of vision. It was like we were deliberately kept from ever touching Aura. She was almost within reach, but this root blocked our path. Yeah! I cried, and Aura disappeared. Please, wait! Kite shouted in vain. The room was swallowed in darkness, and I recognized the large bracelet shape that rose up from before our feet. Yeah, from before our feet. My breath caught. An enormous root stretched up and around our heads. And they are now fighting Hagiya once more. He is joyant. Despite what this picture may claim. There we go. Dot those hacks. Yeah, I know, right? I love the designs of the enemies in this game. What is it? She dot on my hack till I infection. Well, no, a better one would be, she dot on my hack till I outbreak. Hear me out, this motherfucker says. Hear me out. What them teeth do. See them balls? Got be hooching them balls. But yeah, if you've never played the dot hack games, you fight Hagiya like 3 or 4 times. Let's see. Where are we? Oh yeah, before our eyes, Hagiya appeared. It's that thing again, I cried. Balmung, who had never seen Hagiya before, hefted his blade and glared at it. It's big. Too big. Wink wonk. Where are we? Can we possibly defeat that? He breathed and gulped. We have to, or he'll defeat us, I cried in response. It's growing, wink wonk, Kite muttered beside me. Growing? I realized Kite was right. It was definitely at least 2 times as large as it had been the first time we saw it. Here it comes, Balmung bellowed, and we readied our weapons. Kite the twin blade, me the heavy blade, and Balmung the blade master. I never thought it would come down to this. We were all fighters, so we didn't have anyone to run recovery, but the combat was beginning, and it was far too late to do anything about that. Still, I did what I could to give us as many advantages as possible, spending some items I carried to strengthen everyone's defense power and attributes. The Hagiya core, a pale globular monster masked by roots, appeared in front of all of us. All 3 of us attacked at once, but Hagiya core had physical tolerance, combining charms with spells and ill practice in wielding. I had ill practice in wielding. We whittled away at its hit points, merely bit by bit. Hagiya itself used its roots to land massive area attacks, and each time one hit, we had to individually use items to restore our hit points. The varieties of monsters spawned around us. 3 varieties of monsters spawned around us. Kilgomoras, various Gomoras, and Repth Gomoras. They were all smaller than Kubiya core. These ones are first. So these are. I love that this book is actually referring to a game mechanic, because Gomoras are like these little tiny. They look like jellyfish almost, but except they have 3 tentacles, and their inside is covered with like different. The inside of the sphere is colored differently, depending on which one. And Repth is the word for a cure spell in .hack, and so you always kill the Repth Gomora first, and then ignore the other ones. Especially if you're a high enough level, you can just ignore. You can just tank that shit. Don't matter. All right. At Kite's words, we each chose a Gomora and destroyed it. However, no matter how many times we crushed them, the Gomoras respawned after a set interval. Oh yeah, that's why you ignore them. You kill the Repth Gomora, and then you wail until the Repth Gomora respawns. It became a repetitive cycle of area attacks, Gomora slaying, and core strikes. We were forced to fight a battle that seemed like it might just keep stretching on and on. Because not one of us had items that restored hit points and skill points at the same time, Kite voluntarily took on the duty of recovery. But our recovery items soon started to run out. Our skill points drained, unable to use our attack skills, we were reduced to wailing away at with our weapons like automatons. Kite's name in the status bar blinked red, a sign that his hit points were about to run out. I was flustered, but at my side, Balmung rapidly exchanged his equipment and cast recovery magic on Kite. Once Kite's hit points recovered to a safe margin, Balmung re-equipped his original gear. Wow. I was carrying an extra set of equipment that lets me use Repth. There you go, buddy, Balmung explained. Its defense level is low, though, so I never leave it on for long. Balmung of the Azure Sky, is this a sign of the true playing skill of one of the descendants of Fianna? Bro just keeps... Okay, so the way that spells and stuff work in .hack is you don't really learn spells. Spells are tied to the weapons that you have equipped and the armor that you have equipped, actually. And so... But actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's an RPG, or it's an RPG with like level limits. So if you're too low of a level to equip something, you just can't equip it. Which I guess that sort of balances things out a little bit. But like, well, yeah, it does. I don't remember being broken or anything, but that feels like a strategy that literally any average player would like include, just to keep an item on you that casts healing spells even if you don't normally cast healing spells in case of emergencies. Alright. Where are we? The background boss. A very long fight. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they're currently fighting Kubiya for the second time, I believe. Also, welcome, Rathus. Where are we? Oh. This will finish it, Balmung cried, stabbing mightily at the core, and Kubiya itself howled as if in pain. As I watched it slowly fall into the darkness, I thought, please don't come back up. But as if just to spite my wish, Kubiya suddenly rose up and merged into the color-inverted sky, vanishing. It ran again. As I looked up at the spot where Kubiya had been absorbed into the sky, I suddenly thought, what if... Hey, I said, what if Kubiya's stopping you from meeting with the girl? Kite tilted his head. Stopping me? I play all of them, but I don't... Spoilers. Okay. Oh, yeah, I own and have played all of them. So I fully get that, and plus, we're reading the book anyway. Like, so like, I mean, yeah, it's kind of spoilers. Yeah. Don't. I think I know what you're. I think I know what you're avoiding the spoiler for. Thank you for not spoiling the twist. But yeah, I do know what you're referring to. What Kubiya is. Yeah, alright, cool. Let's see, where are we? I nodded. Doesn't it seem that way when you think back on our encounters with it? But it always runs away in the end. That's the part I don't get. But then, Kite said slowly, if Aura and I meet, what will happen? Why is Kubiya interfering?
Why indeed?
Like there's any way I'd know that, I cried. Think about it on your own. So, Balmung interjected, joining the conversation, what exactly was that thing? Good grief, she thought to herself. I'm trying to tell you, I don't know. I see, Balmung said dubiously. Balmung, honestly, it's at this point that Balmung just turns into an absolute goober, and I love him for it. I love how much of a goober Balmung. He goes from being a hard ass into being just like the silliest of nonchalant goobers, and he carries that into Legend of the Twilight, which we will read at one point, but it'll have to be digitally. But it's so silly. I love dubious, goofy Balmung. Not dubious, but aloof, doofy Balmung. In the end, we were again denied our chance to speak with Aura, so we returned to Carmina Gadelica. So that fight's done. Whoops. Yeah, that'll work. Minimize Carmina Gadelica, which I believe is this one. Kubiya is getting stronger, Kite muttered, echoing what he'd said before the battle had begun. It's growing just like we are. It definitely had got stronger, and even though we'd gotten stronger as well, we weren't really able to defeat Kubiya Core. I really want them to add the word "the" before Kubiya Core, but they never do, and it's kind of bugging me. It's the Kubiya Core. I don't know. I'd never realized that a battle without a party member dedicated to recovery would be so trying. Oh, absolutely it is. You always need a Wave Master. Though my appreciation was belated, I once again realized the importance of a Wave Master. Of Mistral, hell yeah, Mistral best girl. The corruption's getting steadily worse, Kite said. We may not be able to go on fighting separately like this. Unsure what Kite was getting at, I asked, what do you mean? He paused. Leos. Leos? Oh no, Leos, I said scornfully, but Kite just looked at me and nodded. Yeah, he said. I was thinking maybe he could lend us a helping hand. But that Leos? I cried. Are you serious? I think Leos also wants to get this world back to normal, Kite said. I'm pretty sure he'll help us out. I could hardly agree. Kite, you're the one who's being taken advantage of the most, she thought to herself. When the two of us fell silent, Balmung cut in. My opinion is the same as yours. Balmung too, she thought to herself. It doesn't seem to me that Leos is likely to cooperate, though, I said, giving voice to my honest opinion. Kite smiled. It's alright, he said. Even Leos should understand. I mean, well, as an adult, his pride's sure to get in the way. So he probably won't say up front that he'll join us. Still, that Leos? Hilarious. She thought to her. Oh yeah, I pondered. Leos probably needed Kite. After all, there was that email that I'd gotten from him the other day about investigating an area. If Leos intended to use us, it seemed fair play for us to use him too. I guess we do need internal CC Corp information, I mused, and somehow found myself convinced to make a deal with the devil. The problem is, Balmung said to me, whether Leos will accept Helba or not. Huh? I said. You've got a point there. We pondered possible scenarios, and then I recalled a trick my friends had pulled on me at school the other day. A variation of that might just work. The way she pulls this off is so funny. It is so, like, petty teen drama type shit, but used to save the world. It's very funny. Time passes. It was our first day back after the festival. Oh, time for real life. Bam! There's Black Rose in real life, for those who have not seen her. Her name is Akira, and that is her brother's prairie dog. I use this for like a catch-all for whenever the story shifts to her real life. It was our first day back after the festival. I was in the classroom at the beginning of our noisy lunch break, and Risa and Shoko had asked me if I would tell Miho to meet them in the cafeteria to eat. I told them she'd already left, saying she was going to meet them on the roof, but they simply said they felt like eating in the cafeteria that day. It seemed a little strange to me, but since I was the fastest runner of the group, I headed up toward the roof to see if I could head Miho off before she got there. I should note at this point that I had no idea I was being tricked. When I got to the roof without... Oh, this is a flashback. When I got to the roof without meeting her on the way, the first thing I saw there was Hagiya. Just Hagiya, no one else. I went ahead and looked all over the roof for Miho, but of course I didn't find her. And in the end, I spent more than half my lunch break talking to Hagiya. He said he always ate his lunch on the roof when the weather was nice out, not having known that at all beforehand. I totally fell for Risa and Shoko and Miho's trap. Okay, so for context, Hagiya is a dude that is crushing on Akira, and he will not leave her alone. She has rejected him twice, and he will not, stop pursuing her. It is creep-ass behavior, and all my homies fucking hate him. He's annoying as fuck. Ugh. He even dedicates a song to her at the festival she mentioned. It's, skeevy ass boy. Fucking hate him. And her friends don't help. Is this typical high school, behavior? Because if so, my god, that shit's toxic as hell. Toxic Avenger ass. Jesus Christ. Fucking hate it. Fuck Hagiya. All my homies hate Hagiya. Alright. If we don't come right out and call him, but set things up like that, it might just work. Fine then, I said. I'll call the two of them and you handle it from there. Call them? How? Balmung asked curiously. Just watch me. I winked. Oh yeah, in the game she acts like she's a fucking pro at this. But the book's nah, she had this shit pulled on her and she's being a copycat. It's so funny. However you do it, the problem will be after you call them, Kite muttered. Did you say something? I said, pretending not to hear. After I called them, something would work out anyway. Nothing, Kite said. Okay then, I said, rubbing my hands together. I'll email you once I'm ready. I logged out. Time passes. The world's BBS... This would be my first post. But I didn't want to start a new thread. I didn't want too many people noticing it. I scanned through possible threads to use. Aha! I cried, finding one that looked promising. I scanned through the whole thing. It had been neglected. 2 or 3 off-topic posts had been made, and it had stagnated. There was no way I could pass it up. I was sure no one was watching it, and even if they saw my post, they probably wouldn't understand what it said. Paying close attention to the wording, I filled out the posting form. The thread title was Hackers. For the post title, I typed in, to the Queen of the Dark. Oh, I love that song. Queen of the Dark. All right. The words in the epitaph of Twilight that referred to Helba, and the listed poster was, of course, Black Rose. The content of the post was just one sentence. I await you in paradise. Hell yeah, brother. The place where even broken NPCs could be at ease without getting debugged. Right. Without getting debugged. The Netslum inhabitant, Thea, had called it paradise. It was a creepy place, but it seemed to me that paradise was a perfect word for a place you could go to get away from system administrators. I had taken a shine to the word, so I used it in the post. My thoughts were along these lines. Leos for sure wouldn't be too thrilled about us being in league with Helba, so what if we used the BBS to get in contact with her? It would probably bug the hell out of Leos, and he'd come to take a look, even if he deleted the post. I was betting that Helba had the skills to still read what had been written there. After the post went through, I sent emails to Kite and Balmung. Quote, get in touch with me once you're ready. Like I said, just leave it to me. I'll be waiting at the Lambda server, Chaos Gate. Oh, before that, Take a peek at the BBS. See you later. Time passes. I don't know if they're actually going to meet there in the book. Let's see. I replenished my recovery items and whatnot in the item shop and then arrived at the Chaos Gate just in time, Jesus, to see Kite warp in. Alright, so that's the Lambda server. So it'd be this one. Fort Oaf. No, wait, is it? Mother trucker, I gotta fucking remember if Lambda server is Fort Oaf or Carmina Gadelica. I always fucking forget. Yeah. Carmina Gadelica. Gorge. So is this fun? Yeah, too big. There we go. Boy Fate. I replenished my recovery items and whatnot at the item shop, then arrived at the Chaos Gate just in time to see Kite warp in. Hell was one thing, but I wonder if Leos will really come, Kite said uneasily. I nodded. The plan's perfect. I'm a woman after all. Ew. Not exactly sure why I had said that. Exactly. You don't even know why you said it. I grinned at Kite. Anyway, net slum, lambda, pulsating truth's core, right? Where are we? Where did I go? There we are. Those were the keywords for going straight to net slum. We waited a while to see if Ballman would show up, but it didn't look like he would. So Kite and I decided to go ahead. Having arrived in net slum, we started walking around aimlessly. Were you planning on contacting Helba? Said a voice from behind us. Oh, it's Leos. Were you planning on contacting Helba? Said a voice from behind us, and when we turned around, there stood Leos, his arms folded imperiously. Well, whatever. It is the two of you. Whatever it is the two of you are up to, I'm afraid I had to delete that post. Pooh. So I'm sorry to bring you to the sad news that she won't be here. Oh yeah? I chatted him softly, and Leos frowned. The hackers, they're having a good laugh, he barked. They find the current state of affairs to be quite amusing. What dealings do you intend to have with them? I must know. Tell me! Kite started walking toward him. Are you just towing the company line? He asked. Leos was taken aback. What? Leos, you of all people should know by now, Kite continued, that the problems have nothing to do with Helba. What do you know? Leos shouted. What do you think that bracelet makes you some kind of hero now? Don't make me laugh. Fine, keep wearing that trinket for all I care. That abominable item will play no part in my restoration of this system. Kite shook his head. Leos, that's not what I mean at all. What I'm trying to say is that if we want the same final outcome, we should work together. I do not work with hackers, Leos spat. Watching them argue was really starting to tick me off. I got right in front of Leos' face and let him have it. Fuck yeah. You pig head. Your stubbornness makes me want to just bust open your head and see if there's any brains in there. If you weren't so thick-skulled, I'd have done that long ago. We heard a voice say, and then Helba warped in. The wife! Where are you? Where's the wife? The wife is here! The wife! Oh my god, I fucking love Helba. My wife! There's something very, very funny. I don't know where it came from recently, but I sort of started to like whenever I see like waifu material characters, I do like that angry gruff man who's like defending his wife. My wife! Like, it almost sounds like the tone should be like disparaging the wife, like the tropey sexist husband, but no, he's like, I love my wife. Alright, sorry. Where are we? Oh wait, do I have a thing for net slum in here? Cannot remember if I do. I'll be surprised if I don't. Oh, I do. Right here, Netslum, baby. That's the anime Netslum, but it's pretty close. No, full screen, you goober. Full screen, thank you. That's way too small. Yeah, we're just gonna go with that one. That'll work. Boop. Leos jumped back in shock. Helba, how did you... Helba flashed him a smile. There is so much of significance to be gleaned from a single deleted post. Did you actually think I would pass up such a juicy tidbit as that? Deleting messages that have clues pointing toward the truth? Truly shameful. Even a pighead like you can't be completely ignorant of what's going on here, can you? Just because I didn't rebuke her doesn't mean you have permission to call me a pighead, Leo sniffed, turning and looking away. Maybe he was tired of all the pighead comments. Then why don't you prove to us you're not a pighead, Kite said, pouring salt on the wound. What? Leo spun and glared at Kite. The players who fell into comas while playing the game, Kite said, interjecting a bit of reality into the situation, into the conversation, still haven't woken up. While we stand around calling each other names, they're out there suffering. What we ought to be doing right now... Alright, these games look old. They are old, Dragon? I'll just call you Dragon, I guess. Dragon City? Anyway, yeah, they are, but this isn't from a game. This is from the anime version, and I'm reading the novelization of one of them. Kind of wish they would remaster the original Dot Hack series, because, like, they are not beginner-friendly at all. They're very much beginner-unfriendly, but, like, the story is so good. That's why I'm starting out reading the novels for stream, because the games take way longer to beat. Way longer. Also, welcome. My name's Ikainu. Double checking to see something real quick. And I'm a fusion. Sorry, I'm a Chinese player. I don't understand, but I can translate the barrage. Oh, okay. That's okay. Take your time. Oh, and it's ad break time. Chinese player. Weird. That's interesting. I've never gotten a Chinese player before. That's interesting. But it is ad break time. Yeah. Good evening, Bot Watchers. Sorry, I had to type all that out. I wanted to make sure that they could copy and paste the text into Chinese if they're able to. Just so they know. I mean, you know, I don't know what folks are capable of. So who knows? Maybe they can translate it. Did I spell his name right? Yeah, Dragon City. 24 seconds till ad breaks over anyway. Sorry for the lack of chat, VOD watchers. I hope that helps them out. I don't even know how they managed to find my stream. It's very strange indeed. One of the downsides to reading an ongoing book series is that if people kind of come in halfway through, they have less of a motivation to keep going. There we go, we're back. Yeah, Dragon City DXX. Sorry, I'm a Chinese player. I am partially. Alrighty. Okay. Hoppa. Excuse me. Okay. Alright, Leo snapped. He paused and looked Kite and me in the face. Then he said, "If only to get you to stop pestering me, I'll work with you, on one condition, that you prove to me how serious you are by retrieving a virus core from the lowest level of the dungeon, Sigma, Sorrowful Sweltering Arena." Huh? But we've been doing that kind of thing for ages. Maybe Leos has just realized deep down that joining forces is the best thing to do, she thought to herself. My assessment from him, My assessment of him. This is interesting. Oh, thank you. My assessment of him inched forward. Piece of cake, I answered firmly, even though I wasn't able to. I cannot speak. I don't know why. No such live broadcast in China. Oh. That's interesting. I do need to play the Dot Hack games at some point. It's very good. They're very good games. I don't know how prevalent they're. I don't know how prevalent they are in China though. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Sorrowful Sweltering Arena. Piece of cake, I answered firmly, even though I wasn't the one who had the bracelet. That's what it was. However, Leos continued, you must do it without using the data drain. That is the sole condition under which I will join forces with the likes of Helba. Don't be ridiculous, I cried. What are we supposed to do if a data bug suddenly shows up? What's he thinking? Does he want more coma victims? My estimation of him slipped back down a notch. Understood, Kite said. I agree. Oh, thank you for the follow, Dragon City. Kite just kept looking straight at Leos. If I do it, he said, you'll work with Helba? If and only if you fulfill my condition, Leos said. Then turned tail and gated out. Means he left the area because this is a game. It's a game. It's one of those games within a game. It's, if I'm not mistaken, the Sword Art Online light novel series started either right at or right after the original Dot Hack games released. Except I very much enjoy the story for Dot Hack much more than Sword Art Online. Let's see. Getting through to a pighead is nearly impossible, Helba said. Show him how serious you are, she gated out as well, leaving just the two of us standing there alone. This is nuts, she thought to herself. This is getting totally out of hand, I said. But it's all we can do, Kite said. You scared? Of course I'm scared, I wanted to scream. But if I ran now, I'd be giving up on Fumikazu, her brother. I shook my head and bluffed for all I was worth. Heck no. So let's get going already. Kite smiled and we headed for Fort Oaf. Together, along the way, Balmung finally showed up, so we explained the situation to him, and Kite invited him into our party. So we're going back to... Where are we? There we are. Back to Fort Oaf, which should not be that small. There we go. There's a backdrop. That's the server where they're currently at. I wish I could... Well, part of me wanted to find, like, images of the different dungeons that they go in, but I for some reason, no one ever thinks to screenshot those or get footage of them, so we kind of only have the root towns, the servers, to work with. Into a party. Did you see the email just now? I asked. He shook his head. I saw it earlier, but my part-time job ran late. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. The sight of Balmung apologizing meekly was creepy, but it was a step in the right direction. Even so, part-time job. Is he one of those guys who scrimps away on a part-time job salary so he can play games the rest of the day? That would be me. If I were in that situation, that would absolutely be me. Let's go then, Kite said, rubbing his right arm uneasily. He probably wasn't too keen on the prospect of not using the bracelet. When we warped into the field, Leos appeared before us. You understand my condition, right? He said. It annoyed me how much emphasis he put on the word. Yeah, I won't use the data drain here, Kite said, his smile not faltering. When we get back, you keep your promise. Leos responded only with a long, hard stare, then gated out wordlessly. What a coward, she thought to herself. I wondered how much to bet that he wouldn't keep his end of the bargain. It was true that we'd gotten tired of his orders and rebelliously ignored him and struck out on our own, but that was only after we'd cooperated in several investigations for him. So he could have picked a better way to go about this. For that matter, what's the deal with the condition he picked? My heart pounding, we cautiously advanced through the dungeon full of ruins. Sure enough, on floor B5, we encountered a data bug. Look, there one is. Now what do we do? I cried, but the answer was obvious. We fight. As we readied our weapons, Leo suddenly appeared behind us again. Yes, now what will you do? Kite just turned around and stared at Leos for a moment. Then he looked back at the data bug and said, Let's go. The three of us attacked. Does he plan on not using the bracelet even if things get dicey? I wondered, looking at Kite uneasily. Slashing at the data bug, I noticed something strange. Huh? This was supposedly a data bug, but for some reason its hit point meter was decreasing like any normal monster's, even though data bugs never lost hit points before being data drained. Is this some kind of test? Yes, Black Rose, it is. Rye drive, I cried, trying a Thunder Element heavy blade skill. And the data bug was dead. You've got to be kidding me. Why? I was almost hysterical. Why didn't you use the data drain? Oh, why didn't you use the data drain? Leos critiqued Kite. Are you that eager to become coma victims? Look here, you, I shouted at him, all motivation to use tact now out the window. You're the one who said not to use it in the first place, so what the hell are you talking about? But this so-called data bug, we've fought things way stronger than that, as if you didn't know. Leos knows, Kite said calmly. Huh? I said. Balmung seemed surprised as well. You know? He asked Leos. What does that mean? When we were fighting Kubia, Balmung said slowly, you were watching? Wait, so the reason Kite turned around to look the other day, you mean where Aura? I know nothing of that, Leos interrupted. Besides, the data bug you just defeated was only an imposter I created. If it were real, that lightning thing wouldn't have worked. Don't get too carried away. An imposter? One way or another, I had a feeling that would be the case, Kite said. I know this game is important to you too. There's no way you'd let something that dangerous happen. As I looked at Kite's calm face, I breathed a sigh of relief. Why didn't you say that in the first place? You about gave me a heart attack. Helba chose that exact moment to warp in right in front of us. Wah! I cried, stumbling back. How come Leos and Helba keep popping in and out like that? I really am gonna have a heart attack, she thought to herself. Helba stared at Leos. You lose, Leos, she said simply, then just grinned. The wife? That is Helba. Leos merely seemed grumpy. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to pop up and remind folks what Leos looks like. This is what the NPC shopkeepers look like in the game, but Leos, who is a system administrator, what the fuck, who takes the form of who takes the form of the shopkeeper, just looks like a shopkeeper, except he talks in like vocal lines. Damn it, hold on. My sound card is still messing up. There we go. Whoop. He could be any one of those. He shows up in different colors like that, depending on where you are. Usually it's the green one or the yellow one, though. Okay. Let's see. Where are you? Leos merely seemed grumpy. I lost all right. Completely, he said, grimacing. That wasn't any fun at all. Helba gave him another smile. Leos, since it's come to this, I feel I must let you know. The higher-ups at CC Corp have begun to take actions that are nothing short of gross malfeasance. Leos looked shocked. Until now, the government has been relatively sympathetic, Helba continued, but their patience has run dry, and the various ministries involved are making arrangements to announce that the full responsibility for the recent disasters lies with CC Corp. Forewarned of this, CC Corp... Oh, wait, what? Forewarned of this, CC Corp... Oh my god, I can't fucking see. Forewarned of this, CC Corp higher-ups are moving to protect themselves. Hopefully out of earshot, I whispered to Kite. Who is Helba? A really good hacker or something, Kite replied with a shrug, frowning at me. Duh, I know that, I hissed. That's not what I meant. Ugh, whatever. I turned my attention back to the conversation between Helba and Leos. To protect themselves? Oh, to protect themselves? Leos was saying. Helba nodded. They intend to wipe out the evidence. To destroy the physical servers consigning this world and any leads we have toward recovering those we have lost to eternal oblivion. Ridiculous, Leos protested. And when it happens, Helba said, you at CC Corp will just claim it's the work of terrorists or hackers again. Kite forced his way between the two. Even if they do that, it won't accomplish anything, he said. It won't stop the network from getting more contaminated. Helba inclined her head toward Kite and smiled. That's right, and CC Corp already knows that. But the network contamination means nothing to them. All they care about is saving their own public image. If we don't take action before they do something foolish... Leos just stared at her. Kite turned to face him. I held up my end of the deal, Leos, he said. But I'm not going to keep you from backing out now if you want. What an unpleasant child, Leos said. Fine, I'll keep my promise. I'll cooperate with all of you. And he warped out. Man, that Leos guy sure isn't easy to work with. Just like any typical hard-headed grown-up, but that means that both Leos and Helba are on our side, she thought to herself. It all starts here. With a rush of blood to the head. And a feeling of fear. But nothing's happened yet. Oh, I love that song. That's Skydiving by Lights, I whispered. That was... Sorry, that went in the book. That wasn't in the book. Yeah, Kite echoed eagerly. It all starts here. I smiled at Kite. Now we were all one group, all of us who were working to solve the same problem. Kite, who possessed an irregular item, Leos, who was trying to fix the system abnormalities from the CC Corp side, Balmung, who had been working for Leos, and Helba, who had been Leos' nemesis for a long time. As long as each of us gave our all to this effort and shared what we knew, it starts here, I said again, the words ring with a bright hope in my mind. Hey, more sketches that are adorable. I love this person's art style. Wait, art by... it's illustrated by someone at CyberConnect 2. That's interesting. Okay. Next end of the chapter, and I'm gonna readjust my posture so that I'm not sitting on my spine. And take another sip of Red Bull. Okay. The Outside and the Inside is the name of this next chapter, and I'm gonna... Oh, damn it, I have that open multiple times. That sucks. Oh, okay. We'll just do this one, and then... and then... and then... Kupupadabu. Okay. The Outside and the Inside. This is a, either a text message or an email, but it's in the standard text font, so... I heard you managed to get Leos and Helba to cooperate. I'm amazed. And Helba, Queen of the Dark, has raised, finally, her army. Aperion, King of Light, beckons. At the base of the rainbow, they meet. Against the abominable wave, together they fight. It's just like a stanza from the epitaph. Now, it's still unknown what the origin of the abominable wave is, but with Leos and Helba's help, we should be able to squeeze some truth out of the situation. All thanks to you and Kite. Good work. Oh, Wiseman. It's Wiseman's email. Wiseman's email made me feel a bit out of sorts. Thanks to me. Sure, I tricked them into showing up in the same place, but it was Kite who'd done the most to secure Leos' cooperation. Another email was from Kite, saying there was a rumor on the BBS that a certain area was cursed, so I logged in and went there with him, but we were back at the Chaos Gate before long. Just another data bug again, I muttered. If everything people wrote about on the BBS actually happened, Leos would probably throw a permanent fit. Kite smiled wryly. True. The BBS had mentioned some mysterious phenomenon, but when we'd gotten there, it was just a data bug on the lowest level of the dungeon. Once upon a time, data bugs were something to worry about, but with how contaminated the game was now, I was totally used to them. So what do we do now? I yawned. Kite pondered. His gaze shifted back to... where are you? His gaze shifted back to the Chaos Gate behind me. I figured someone must have shown up, so I turned around. So this is where you were. Balmung ran over, his airy wings fluttering. There's a field I just remembered the keywords for, that Orca had said had a strange room somewhere in it. Where? Kite and I cried, almost in unison. Sigma, resonating false grasslands. So that would be this one, I think. I keep having to fucking double check it. Yet again. Bop. Sigma, Fort Oaf. Yep, we got it. And the last one is Omega server. Is unknown. Okay, yeah. In order from lowest to highest in the terms of servers for .hack, it's Delta server, Theta server, Lambda server, Sigma server, and Omega server. I keep forgetting all five of those. Jesus. And then one that was meant only for the Legend of the Twilight, which is called Naval Mont or Naval Monte. I don't know. I don't remember. But either way, we're in Sigma server root town Fort Oaf or Auf, one of the two. Either way, let's do it. Sigma, resonating false grasslands, Balmung said. Kite and I looked at each other. A strange room could lead to more clues about the epitaph of Twilight. Strike while the iron is hot, I said. Let's not waste any time. We hit the ground running after warping into the field, speeding through a contaminated prairie and down into an ancient castle-type dungeon. We followed Balmung to the lowest level, taking the shortest route. What we found there seemed way out of place for the depths of a dungeon. A strange-looking house that had a log roof with a white fence enclosing a garden of 4 withered trees. Several stopped clocks hung beside the floor, and on the front path lay a food dish and water bowl, and a collar connected by a rope to one of the trees. For a dog or something? She thought to herself, but the place was deserted. There was no sign of life. Are these some kind of ruins? I muttered to no one in particular, and we walked through the front gate. As soon as we entered the yard, text started appearing in the game log. Wave soars and shrouds the eyes. No means to fight an omnipotent force. The shadowless ones just grieve. Why must it be a wave? Divide. If it would just, then retaliate, we may. There was no mistaking it. This was an epitaph fragment. Kite looked up at the low, stark white sky and murmured, "Harold." What? Do you know something? I said. I almost fell asleep. Very hypnotic. Thank you, Dragon. That's part of the reason why I do this. Just a nice story or just something to fall asleep to. It's all good. And I do have other episodes, or I have all of my VODs saved to my YouTube. I don't know if you're able to access YouTube where you are, but just in case, here you go. I also have playlists for all of my VODs. One for just the reading. I also look up content that was cut from video games or early promo content for those games. I also play games in general. I've been playing through my physical game collection, and I've played through my PlayStation 2 collection, and now I'm currently in the middle of playing through my GameCube collection. I mostly prefer single-player games, but I do love playing Mario Kart online, and a specific program used to play Magic the Gathering online called Cockatrice. But anyway, we return. No, Kite said hesitantly, then turned to me. I was just wondering what he's trying to tell us. Wow, I'll check it out before I go to bed tonight, thanks. No problem, Dragon, no problem. All 3 of us were wondering the same thing. Time passes. After school the next day, restlessness kept me from putting my all into tennis practice. Black Rose in real life's name is Akira, and she's on her high school's tennis team. I just couldn't wait for it to be over with. I reflected that I'd felt the same restlessness since the incident with Natori, and her cronies picking on me had been resolved. I kept pondering when would be a good time to talk to Asaoka about the fragment of the epitaph of Twilight that we'd gotten the day before, but that question was answered for me once practice had ended, since she snagged me while I was rushing to leave. There's something I need to ask you, she said, a little taken aback by Asaoka being the one to approach me first. I replied, "Sure, what's up?" "Not here, though," she said, her eyes shifting around to take in our surroundings. We were alone in the storage room, where I'd put away the last of the nets and balls, and it seemed unlikely anyone else would have a reason to come back. "I don't think anyone will bother us here," I said. "Did something happen?" Asaoka still seemed unsure. I wondered what she had to say, but she was so worried about people overhearing. After surveying the area in silence once more, she peered at my face and said in a low voice, "Does what you're investigating have to do with people falling into comas while playing the world?" "Huh?" I gasped. Well, the game might not be the cause, but there's a rumor going around. I didn't know how to respond. If I said nothing, it would only confirm her suspicion. But I couldn't think of anything else I could say that wouldn't sound like an obvious evasion. And the fact that she was working with me on the epitaph riddle strongly tempted me not to hide anything from her. But I didn't want her pitying me or for Fumikazu's sake. God damn it, Akira. Be honest with your feelings. As I stood there frozen by indecision, Ahsoka's gaze never wavered. If that is the reason you're investigating it, she said, don't worry about me getting scared off by that or anything. Because if it's true, I might help cast a different light on the issue. A different light? That's right. I think it might help us to make sense of it, to understand it. She was just too willing and honest a collaborator for me to keep things from anymore, so I told her. I walked my bike next to her on the way to the station, and I told her everything. Even about Fumikazu and the epitaph fragment we'd gotten the day before. She didn't bat an eye, and didn't drown me in sympathy, but was optimistic about our chances of making real progress on the investigation front. And once we parted ways, I felt relieved to have found someone else with whom I could share my secret. Fuck yeah, girl, that's what you do. You be honest, and the true friends will stick around. And you say bye-bye to those who won't. Time passes. That afternoon, when I started up my computer and checked my email, I found a passage from Wiseman with the subject line, to all involved in the operation. The operation? Is that the scale this is on now? I thought, opening the message. Quote, based on our prior investigation, we have determined not to use the jammer program on an area itself, but instead seek to isolate those areas in which the wave shows signs of existing. Based on the analysis of those areas, we will consider what strategy will most effectively defend against the enlargement of the contamination. We must meet in order to discuss a concrete plan. Your presence is requested in Netslum. He could have just said that part. I grumbled, snatching up my FMD and heading into the world. So we're moving on over to Netslum, baby. That's too big. There we go. Let's see. Yo, I called, warping into Netslum, and seeing that Balmung, Wiseman, and Helba, and Leos were already there. Has anyone else shown up yet? Just those you see. We'll wait a little longer, Wiseman said, then fell into silence. All right, I said. I'd tried to get in touch with Kite before coming, but he hadn't responded. I had just assumed he was already on his way. Still, if you're going to call it an operation, isn't this too small a group? Then again, the fewer people in harm's way, the better. As I was looking around at the scenery again, I saw a warp gate open next to the stained vermilion Shinto shrine archway. Hey, that one. A familiar red twin blade stepped through it. Kite! I cried. Also, just as a reminder of what these characters look like in game. Let's see. There be Black Rose. Very cute outfit with a big old sword. Let's see, that's her in action. That's the bracelet that Kite is wearing that they occasionally talk about that can data drain. That's the data drain in action. A little bigger there. There's Kubiya. Let's see. There's Elk, who's friends with Mia. There's good old Helba, as she's drawn in the light novel series. There's in-game Helba. There's a church that doesn't matter right now. There's Kite, as he is now. The green version of Kite was him before he was, like, data drained at the beginning of the game. Like, it's not entirely explained how this happened, but either way. He's given the bracelet, and he's turned orange or red, either one. And that's his in-game portrait. That's him in the anime. There's Leos. That's Mia. Mistral, the best baby. She was in the series. She was in the story for a little while, but her character in real life is a pregnant lady, who, for the sake of her child, opted out of of trying to fix the world. Yeah, there she is. She and Akira met in person, and she is the sweetest lady. We love her. Morgana mode gone. There's Orca, the guy, Kite's friend that is in a coma. That's the first wave. That's part of the wave that they've been fighting, which are these giant anomalous monsters that each have their own name, and they're each part of the phases of the wave. There's Phase 1, Skaith, Phase 2, Innis, Phase 3, Magus, Phase 4, Fidshell. We have not fought him yet, so we are going to go back. We're going to close that out and return to the dead slum. Where are we? Kite, I cried. Am I late? He asked, smiling at me as I ran over to him. Then he looked around at the impatient faces of the others present. I suppose you were prompt enough, Balmung said, his arms folded. Helba took the reins. Let's begin, she said, looking to Wiseman. The outline of this operation is as you were told in the email, Wiseman said. If no one has any questions, then Helba will explain the distribution of duties. During this operation, Helba said, Leos will investigate the abominable wave and observe CC Corp employees. Wiseman will collate and analyze the data collected. She turned to Kite. You will lead this operation's strike force and confront the abominable wave at the appropriate time. The rest of us will divide up the other duties in the situation as the situation warrants. Wiseman? Taking his cue, Wiseman spoke up again. Specific targets have not yet been determined. As soon as they are, we will begin our first investigation. I will keep everyone informed of our operating schedule via email. For now, that is all. Dismissed. What? I thought. Having assumed the operation would begin right away, I found myself feeling quite disappointed. With nothing to do, I stood and watched the members warping out one after the other. Kite came up to me. Black Rose? He said. Are you doing something? Are you doing anything after this? Huh? Oh, no, nothing in particular. There's an area I'd like to go. I'd like you to go with me to. I jumped at the chance. All right, let's go. When we got back to town, before we set out for the field, Kite said, There's someone else I want to invite. Do you mind? It's not like I can say no, I thought. Then I wondered if he'd invited me along just to act as support for this other character, instead of because because he specifically wanted me with him. Okay, I said hesitantly, then heard a female player's voice from behind me. How do you do? Turning around, I found my eyes riveted in the unfamiliar heavy axeman. She was dressed in pure white with small white wings on her back, different from Balmung's, and a smile like an angel's. Heck, there was even a halo floating above her head. This is Ryoko Terajima, Kite said, introducing her. She's a newbie, so she asked me to teach her some... Yeah, I know about her, I interrupted. She's the one who posted that message on the BBS about wanting someone to show her the ropes? Yes, Ryoko Terajima said, with an even more charming smile. Kite was kind enough to take care of that. Okay, so... Where are we? Back to town, so they are back in Fort Oaf, one of the two. And they have just met Ryoko Terajima, which she does show up in the game. I'm going to go ahead and go to the .hack wiki, because there are some characters that are not relevant enough to get a pre-saved image, but hey, that's what we got the Wikia for. Come on. Open up! Alright, let's see where. Ryoko Terajima. Ryoko Terajima. Bam. Terajima Ryoko. Oh, she's in .hack Link too. That's awesome. Come on, show me that cute face. There she is. Look at that early 2000s anime girl art style face, if it will load properly. Come on, what are you doing? There we go. Look at her go. Oh, she's pretty. Bless her. Okay, but yeah. That's Ryoko Terajima. Pretty, pretty lady. Where are you right now? Okay, here. Kite? I said, surprised. Oh yeah, what was it that rude player character said? That she teamed up with some red guy or something? I never guessed it was Kite. This is Black Rose, Kite said, introducing me to her. I invited her to come along with us if you showed up. I bowed my head. It's nice to meet you, she said, smiling brightly, then brought her hand to her mouth. Her shoulder-length golden hair swayed gracefully as her head moved. She had a slight figure and gave off a sort of you-know-you-want-to-protect-me aura. Ah yes, those classic you-know-you-want-to-protect-me vibes. It was even more girlish than Haru. My lady was a perfect phrase for Ryoko Terajima, but I had the undeniable sense that there was something out of place about her. Likewise, I said, unable to keep my mouth from twitching. With Kite in the lead, the three of us warped to Sigma, generous, bemused virgin. Hilarious. It was a field covered in dazzling snow. For a long time, I'd been sure that all the world's areas had been contaminated to some extent, but one look at the snow field stretching before me eased my mind a great deal. I couldn't see any signs of contamination at all. But when I saw the sky and it was filled with fissures as usual... Oh, but then I saw the sky and it was filled with fissures as usual. Maybe there really is nowhere left in the game that's been left untouched. As soon as we had warped in, Ryoko Terajima had run toward the dungeon entrance. "Let's go!" she shouted. Here I'd been thinking she was a shy, sheltered girl, I mused. I hurriedly took off in pursuit, Kite running at my side. Actually, she asked me to help her get items, he confided apologetically. Don't worry about it, I said, and smiled. That was just Kite's personality. If someone asked him to help, he couldn't refuse. Entering the dungeon, we started to trek toward the God statue that awaited us in the lowest level. But the monster that popped out of the first magical portal we passed made me shout in surprise. What the? It was a data bug. I'd never seen one come out of an ordinary portal like that before. We knew the routine, so Kite and I dispatched it in the usual manner, though we had to make allowances for guarding the low-level Ryoko Terajima. What's going on? I asked Kite once the monster was no more. I don't know, Kite said, tilting his head. We were probably both wondering whether Leos knew that things had progressed to this point. The further we went, the more portals we triggered. Each time the monster had appeared was clad in luminescent green hexes. The contamination's definitely spreading, I thought. I tightly gripped my massive sword. Massive sword count number 4. And braced myself for the downward trek. It wasn't long before we battled our way through more data bugs than I'd seen in my entire time in the world. And right after we reached the lowest level, we heard footsteps behind us that were heavy enough to make the whole room vibrate. Another data bug? I turned around and brandished my sword. The approaching monster looked like a genie, so strange that I wasn't sure how it even fit under the roof. First data bugs, and now this? The floor shook as the monster charged. It's an enemy, Ryoko Terajima cried, lunging forward. Here I go! Terajima, Kite shouted. Don't just run at it recklessly, but his advice went unheeded. She headed right for the monster. Hey, what's with her? What's with her? Rah, take this, she yelled, pouncing on it. If she did any damage at all, it was negligible. No matter how many times she swung her axe, its hit points gauge showed no signs of decreasing. Eh? She yelped as the monster shook her off like a fly. It reared its arm back to take a swing at her, and with her level so low, it was obvious that any blow from the monster would just about kill her. We've got to save her, I cried, but Kite moved. I follow you on Twitter. Do we need to follow each other in order to send messages to each other? No, I don't think so. If we do, I can follow you back. That's all right. Let's see. With her, we've got to save her. That enemy's too strong for you. Kite scolded her. Want to make some new foreign friends. That's perfectly fine. Oh, in that case, hold on. I have a Discord that you can add, that you can join if you have Discord. There you go. Take this, she yelled. Nope, already read that. There's no way you can beat it at your level. As Kite was distracted, I saw the monster quickly wind up for another swing. Kite, I yelled, and Kite looked up, but it was already too late. With no time to even block the monster's powerful blow... the monster's powerful blow knocked him aside. He gasped, and the monster kept coming. I sprang at it instinctively with my sword raised, but just as it became clear, I couldn't make it in time. A miracle unfolded before my eyes. Right after Ryoko Terajima turned her head up to look it in the face, the monster suddenly stopped moving at all. What the hell's going on? I murmured, looking up at the frozen monster. It started slowly falling apart, right in front of Ryoko Terajima. Unable to make heads or tails of what had just happened, I watched Kite approach her from where the monster had thrown him. You alright? I asked her. No, he asked her. He himself looked relatively unscathed. I can't use Discord due to foreign issues. Oh, that sucks. Are you able to have like a VPN? Because there are free VPNs out there, but I'm not sure if you're... I'm not sure I'm not sure if you'll be able to get one. I use a free VPN called Proton VPN. It's free. It does have like a premium mode, but if you're just trying to get your IP address out of China, then you can easily just pick anywhere that's not China. Let's see. I'm sorry, she said, her voice shaking. I wasn't conscious of my own power, and I acted rashly. I'm just no good. Even in this game, I always cause people problems like this. I'm really sorry. I really am. Huh? Kite said to the downhearted girl. If you know what you do is rash and causes people problems, then why don't you just change? I'm sure you can do it if you put your mind to it. He paused. I like you. Everyone likes you. Huh? Thank you, she said, bowing her head. Kite scratched the back of his head like he was embarrassed. What's going on here? I wondered. Suddenly I felt entirely out of place. Everyone likes her? Is he including me in that? Miffed, I inserted myself between the two. The monster's gone, I said. Shouldn't we get moving? Even if my word choice was benign, I could tell that my tone of voice had shown my irritation. It wasn't like Black Rose's usually firm persona, but Kite completely failed to pick up on it. Hilarious. Nope. Bumped my can. There we go. You're right. Let's move on, he said in his typically soft voice, and urged Ryoko Terajima onward. Seeing his attitude irritated me even more. Even though he acted like he always did, it just put me in a bad mood for some reason. She is jealous, jealousy. Jealousy. I don't actually know that song. I've only seen like a clip of it. Okay, Ryoko Terajima said. Moving forward without even looking at me, I followed her and Kite wordlessly. Our path soon led us to the room with the God statue, where the dungeon's items would be found. I wondered what she wanted so badly that she'd ask for Kite's help to get it, so I watched from behind as they triggered it. The treasure box popped out like always, and 2 items were in it that shops would pay high prices for. A golden grunty and an ivory bracelet. That's all she was after? I was very surprised. Ryoko Terajima picked up the items and beamed at Kite. Thank you so much. Don't worry about it, Kite said. Our mission accomplished. I figured the dungeon's danger level warranted getting us out of there as soon as possible. So I used up a Sprite Ocarina, an item that allows you to escape from dungeons. Absolutely, I always keep Sprite Ocarinas on me at all times. You never know when you'll need them. Once we were back in town, Ryoko Terajima thanked Kite again and again, then finally left. We watched her walk off. Once she was out of sight and gone from the status bar, I leaned toward Kite. What the hell are you thinking? I hissed. He was obviously taken aback. Huh? We finally all decided to work as a team and even had a strategy meeting. This is no time for fooling around, I ranted at him. In my heart, I realized Kite hadn't been playing around, and I knew his personality wouldn't let him ignore people who were in trouble. But I was just so irritated that although I knew full well blowing up at him was a mistake, I couldn't make myself stop. Sorry, he said. And when he hung his head and apologized so openly instead of fighting back, my anger felt all the more futile. Just so long as you understand, I groused. Try paying a little more attention to things, okay? He nodded, and finding myself unable to say anything more to him without blowing up further, yet knowing I wouldn't have the visceral satisfaction a real argument would bring me, I gave him a simple goodbye and logged out. Maybe he did have his own motivation for inviting me along, but all I could feel was anger, and knowing that made me feel incredibly pathetic. Time passes. It wasn't anywhere near bedtime when I logged out of the world, and I found myself with nothing to do there in my room except mentally beat myself up over what I'd just done. That didn't last long before I gave into the rational suggestion that continuing to worry about it wouldn't do me any good. So I sat down and started writing an email to Kite. I might have said too much earlier. I'm sorry. Adorable sketch of jealous Black Rose and adorable Terajima. Lovely. Boop. And then we go back to Akira. I dare you to protect me. You know it's you want to protect. Damn, we're still not done with this book yet. This book's like way thicker than the other ones. It's crazy. We've been able to get through the first 2 volumes in one sitting, I think. Maybe 2, I don't remember. But either way. I typed up that much of the message, then thought it sounded stupid and erased it. Not knowing what to write, I slumped across my desk and muttered, "Ugh, that was horrible." I checked my alarm clock, 8 o'clock. I should stay up until I can bring myself to apologize somehow, I thought, but just then my cell phone signaled an incoming message. "I want to talk to you about the Epitaph of Twilight. Can you come meet me?" It was Asaoka. I called her right away. We decided upon a place to meet, and I left the house. The fast food joint at the nearby station was surprisingly empty, though I wasn't sure I'd been there at that time of night before. It was large, with the kitchen and counter on the first floor and seating on the second. I wasn't hungry yet, so just climbed the stairs. When I got to the top and looked around, I came to a screeching halt. The place was empty, so Asaoka was easy to spot, but she wasn't alone, and the person sitting next to her was someone I definitely hadn't planned on seeing that night. Fucking Hagiya. This bitch boy. This fucking bitch of a boy. I hate him so much. Why is he here? Very conscious of Hagiya's presence, I slowly walked over to where they were sitting. I'm sorry I'm late, I told Ahsoka. Don't worry about it, she said. I'm the one who called you up all of a sudden. My eyes shifted to Hagiya. I thought it would just be the two of us talking, and Hagiya being there really threw me for a loop. Discord phone verification failed. That's odd. I'm not sure how they use that for that. I can only chat when you go live. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Although, if you have a laptop, it should work on there along with a VPN. But either way, at least Proton VPN seems to be working for you. If it is. I don't know yet. We'll see. Let's see. Why is he here? Already read that. So I just stood there not knowing how best to break the ice. Hagiya took note of my silence and stood up. Anybody else want some warm tea? He said, and went downstairs without waiting for an answer. I said again, trying to follow after him, but Ahsoka lightly tugged at my arm. Have a seat, she said. Hagiya is in my class, you know, and I think in his own way he's concerned about you. Anyway, I was thinking I needed to apologize to you. Apologize, I said. How come? Well, I ended up showing it to someone else, Ahsoka said. It just happened coincidentally, but I'm really sorry about it. Showed what? Not sure what she was getting at or why she would apologize to me for it. I tilted my head and stared. The epitaph printout. He happened to see it, she said slowly. I never meant for that to happen, but I'm seeing it. Him seeing it allowed me to make some progress. Progress? I parroted, feeling terribly stupid. Hagiya is curious and studies up on a lot of different things, she said. So when he saw the printout, he asked me why I was investigating the epitaph. Even though I felt like I shouldn't tell anyone, he was so persistent that I gave in. What? Fucking Hagiya. I hate Hagiya. He's such a fucking dickwad. And I hate that they made him an integral part of this fucking story. I forgot that this happened. Oh, I haven't told him about your brother, she assured me. You told me that in confidence, so that's not something I would share with anyone else, but just the fact that you were investigating the epitaph. That didn't seem like confidential knowledge, so I told him that, and suddenly he got really enthusiastic and said he would meet with us. I understood what Hagiya was doing here now, but it still brought up conflicting emotions for me. Is it bad that he came here with me? Ahsoka asked. Don't the two of you get along? Huh? Hamaoka said you did, she said. It's nothing like that. I guess he's just someone I know from school. I started to explain, then noticed that Ahsoka was looking over my shoulder. Here you go, Hagiya said from behind me. Then came around and put a steaming cup of tea in front of me. Ah! I cried, hurriedly taking my purse out of my bag. There's no way I'm going to let him treat me. Hagiya put his hand on my wrist, shaking his head. This is for getting myself involved in this without your permission, without your invitation, he said. Please accept that this is my apology. If you want to apologize, dude, fucking leave. Fucking leave, Hagiya. Leave this fucking place right now. I wasn't really satisfied, but I bowed my head. Okay then, I accept. Hagiya smiled happy oh my god, I'm too fast. Hagiya smiled, happy with my answer. Still, though, he said, I never knew you played the World 2, Hayami. 2? I said, surprised. I used to play it myself, Hagiya said. It's been a really long time since I last logged in, though. At those words, I felt a great sense of relief. There was little I would be less enthusiastic about than having him follow me around in-game, as well as in the real world. But maybe I shouldn't have quit, he said, aiming an impish smile my way. from which I averted my eyes. Yeah, I would too. He's a fucking creep. I didn't know it was connected to the epitaph of Twilight. Well, shall we get down to business? Ahsoka broke in, and I nodded earnestly. Seeing this, Hagiya laid out on the table all the materials I had lent to Ahsoka. Epitaph of Twilight 00, shunning the field, broken by wave, the shadowed girl whispers, surely I will return. Alas, the truth unbeknownst awaiting her at journey's end, eternal mourning for her land. Epitaph of Twilight 1, when the finger points to the yonder moon, the fool will not look at the fingertip. Fucking Bruce Lee, what? Don't look at the finger, or you will miss all of that heavenly glory. Epitaph of Twilight 2. The whole cannot be changed. We have already lost that chance, because the time left to us was short. We were mistaken in our path. But now do we realize we should not alter the whole, but change the parts. Epitaph of Twilight 3. Wave soars and shrouds the eyes. No means to fight an omnipresent force. The shadowless ones just grieve. Why must it be a wave? Divide. If it would just... then retaliate, we may. The live broadcast will be at the same time tomorrow. It will not. I stream on, well, during the fall, spring, and winter months, I stream I try to stream 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And during the summer months, I have to have like a summer job. Because the current job that I have is only available during during the American school year, and whenever summer starts up, I don't have any more job opportunities except to be in retail. And they work me more days in the summer, and so I have to cut out my Wednesday streams. So as of right now, I am only streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I need to actually update my schedule for that. I have summer hours. But no, I will not be, what's the word? I will not be streaming tomorrow. I will be extra fucking ad. Well, it's almost time to end stream anyway, so let me see how much. Alright, I'm gonna finish reading the epitaph poem, and then we will call it a stream. What the fuck? Good evening, VOD watchers. I haven't addressed you directly yet, but I hope this stream has been a relaxing one. I really enjoy reading these books, and any kind of entertainment that you can get out of it, be it just to have a voice in the background, to be engaged in the story, to enjoy the visuals, you know, either one. Or apparently my hypnotic voice, which apparently I didn't know was a thing. I never thought it was a thing. I mean, I enjoy singing. Which I need to. I really need to download songs from my next karaoke playlist, because it's been a while since I've done a karaoke stream. I need to do another one. I've got fucking I've got two playlists as backup, I've got two playlists backed up. The one in Spotify and then two more on my Notes app. So 3 in total that I haven't done yet. 9:02 on July 19th. So it is Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday night, July 18th, at 9:02 at night. Or if we're doing the other timing, it is what's the words? It is it's 21:02. If we're doing the 24-hour clock, it's 21:02 here. Okay, so what we're going to do is, since we have reached the 2-hour mark and I have to be up early tomorrow morning, I'm going to finish reading the Epitaph of Twilight that they are currently talking about in the book, and then we will end the stream for the evening. Epitaph of Twilight 3, I already did that one. Epitaph of Twilight ? And it's an assortment of characters and mixed symbols and whatnot. I can actually recreate this in text form. So let's try to recreate this. Damn it. And then we have at money sign. Okay, it's a 12-hour time difference between us. I will come to watch your live broadcast. I am feeling sleepy now and I'm going to take a nap. Hey, okay, alrighty. It's nice to meet you as well, Dragon. It's lovely to meet you. I hope you're able to get a VPN that works. That way you'll be able to meet more people on Discord and stuff. But I usually have more people in my chat than this, but usually on reading days, no one comes in, but that's okay. I just do this for me. I do the reading for me or anyone who happens to stumble upon, like yourself. Percent asterisk ampersand open close parentheses close open asterisk close open percent money sign percent power of ampersand asterisk ampersand power of there it is, just a long ass string of characters. That's so odd, but yes, the Epitaph of Twilight ? Is as follows. That. It's just that. Anyway, Epitaph of Twilight, the Keel Mountains. Traveled at last. We met a dragon who spoke thus. Sheraton am I, who interrupts the signs. An answer to my question give, if you can. Complete my role will be, and I will leave this land. Although equally it exists before everyone's eyes, grasp it not one person can. Tell me, what is it? Epitaph of Twilight. Unknown when the cursed wave was born, after the stars doth cross the heavens, the sky in the east doth darken, and air doth fill with mourning. From the chosen land beyond the forest, a sign of the wave comes. Riding the wave as is Skaith, the shadow of death, to drown all that stands, mirage of deceit, Innis. Betray all with the flawed image, and did aid the wave, and by the power of Magus, and drop from the wave doth reach the heavens, and creates a new wave. With the wave, Fitchell, the power to tell the dark future. Hope darkens, the sadness and despair rule. Just sadness and despair rule. Gore schemes when swallowed by the cursed wave. Matcha seduces with the sweet trap. Wave reaches the pinnacle, and escape none can. Tarvos still remains with more cruelty to punish and destroy, and with the turbulent destruction after the wave, only a void remains. Goodbye for the time, I should say good night. Good night. Thank you for stopping by, Dragon City, and a good night to you as well. Or a good day whenever you take a nap. Good day. From deep within the void arrives Corbenic. Perhaps then the wave is just a beginning as well. Epitaph of Twilight, Wiseman's email. And Helba, Queen of the Dark, has raised finally her army. Aperion, King of Light, beckons. At the base of the rainbow they meet against the abominable wave. Together they fight. Epitaph of Twilight, Mia's words. Plaird of the Seven Sisters, falling in love with a human, become a shadowed one and was exiled from the dark. Hence her name came to be called Plaird, the Fallen. At her wanderings' end, she settled in seclusion in Arche Haukar. However, those days may not last. A reunion may come, or may not. Plaird's form vanishes at the coming of the Harbinger of the Wave. Okay. Those are all the segments of the wave that they have thus far, and that will be the end of the stream for the week. Oh, and it'll be, I may keep this organization of things 2 days in a row of games, and then the Thursdays will be reading days. We'll see. We'll see what happens, because it will be around the third week in August whenever my retail hours will go back down to once a month, thankfully. But for now, I bring y'all back down from the fantasy realm. We return to Blut aus Nord. And, let's see who we'd like to raid, shall we? Let's see if there's anyone. Nope, alrighty. We end like we started, not a goddamn soul. And I hope that laugh didn't make it seem like I was covering up the sadness. It wasn't. It's not a big deal. Like I said, I do this for me. Because I love reading stuff like this. But I do want to raid that goblin girl. Yeah, Gabi Lynn. Why can't I raid Gabi Lynn? Is she not live right now? No, not raid videos. Oh, it's from yesterday. 5 days ago. I really hope I am able to raid Gabi Lynn. She's so cute. Nossi, Skyward Sojourner, Athena, Atlas, Yuli's playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, nice. Keeks is doing Art Fight. Mystic Kayla, she's playing Carrion. Let's raid Mystic Kayla, shall we? Even if it's just little old me. Oh, and thank you for watching, Bod Watchers. I will see y'all in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Smash that like button. The really aggressive Markiplier smash that like button. Kills me. Alright, anyway. Bye-bye, Bod Watchers.